We live in a world saturated with technology. Smartphones, smart homes, smart everything. It's convenient, it's efficient, but it's also intrusive. Our digital footprints are everywhere. Every click, every swipe, every online interaction leaves a trace. This data, once collected, can be used in ways we never imagined, often without our knowledge or consent. The digital age has ushered in a new era of vulnerability. Our personal lives, once considered sacrosanct, are now exposed in the digital ether. The boundaries between our physical and digital selves are blurring, and with it, the lines of privacy are becoming increasingly difficult to define, let alone defend. This essay will delve into the dark side of our interconnected world. We'll explore how technology, intended to empower us, can be used to violate our privacy, manipulate our behaviors, and inflict harm. From government surveillance to corporate data mining, from cyberstalking to the proliferation of deepfakes, the potential for abuse is vast and ever-growing. This is a call to awareness, a plea for vigilance. We must understand the risks, demand accountability, and fight for a digital future where our rights are respected and our humanity is protected. The internet never forgets. Every piece of information we share online, every photo we upload, every message we send, has the potential to remain in the digital ether indefinitely. This creates a permanent record of our lives, accessible to anyone with the knowledge and tools to access it. Social media platforms, while seemingly innocuous, are a prime example of this erosion of privacy. We willingly offer up personal details, opinions, and even our location data in exchange for the fleeting validation of likes and shares. What we often fail to consider is how this information can be aggregated, analyzed, and potentially used against us. Our smartphones, those ubiquitous extensions of ourselves, are also potent tools of surveillance. Location tracking, app permissions, and even our typing patterns can reveal intimate details about our lives. This data is valuable, not just to advertisers but to anyone seeking to exploit our vulnerabilities. The truth is, in the digital age, privacy is no longer a given. It is a right that must be actively asserted, protected, and fought for. The idea of our communications being intercepted, once the stuff of spy thrillers, is now a disturbing reality. Emails, text messages, even voice calls are vulnerable to interception and surveillance. Government agencies, with their vast resources and legal authority, are often implicated in these activities. The USA Patriot Act, passed in the wake of the 9/11 attacks, granted sweeping surveillance powers to law enforcement and intelligence agencies. While framed as a necessary measure to combat terrorism, the act has been criticized for eroding civil liberties and enabling widespread government surveillance. But it's not just governments that are listening. Private companies, driven by profit and a seemingly insatiable appetite for data, engage in their own forms of surveillance. Our online activities are tracked, our browsing habits analyzed, and our personal information packaged and sold to the highest bidder. This constant monitoring can feel like an invisible invasion, a violation of our right to private thoughts and communications. It creates a chilling effect, making us hesitant to speak freely or explore sensitive topics online, fearing that our words and actions are being watched and recorded. Section 4. Weaponized technology, from stalkers to state actors. Technology in the wrong hands can be weaponized to harass, intimidate, and control. Cyberstalking, for example, uses technology to stalk and terrorize victims, often with devastating consequences. Stalkers can use social media to track their victims' movements, hack into their accounts to steal personal information, and even remotely control their devices. But the misuse of technology extends far beyond individual actors. Authoritarian regimes have increasingly turned to sophisticated surveillance technologies to monitor and suppress dissent. Facial recognition software, social media monitoring, and internet censorship are just some of the tools used to stifle free speech and target political opponents. These technologies, often marketed as tools for security and efficiency, can easily be turned against citizens, eroding trust in institutions and creating a climate of fear and self-censorship. The potential for abuse is vast, and the consequences for individual rights and freedoms can be dire. Section 5. Scars on the soul, the psychological fallout. The violation of our digital privacy can have profound psychological consequences. The constant feeling of being watched, the fear of having our most private information exposed, can lead to anxiety, paranoia, and a diminished sense of self-worth. Imagine the distress of having your personal photos or videos leaked online without your consent. The shame, the humiliation, the violation of trust can be debilitating, leaving lasting emotional scars. For victims of cyberstalking, the psychological toll can be particularly severe. The constant harassment, the threats, the feeling of being hunted can lead to post-traumatic stress disorder, depression, and even suicidal thoughts. The psychological impacts of digital privacy violations are real and significant. We must acknowledge the harm inflicted, provide support to victims, and work to create a digital environment where individuals feel safe, respected, and empowered.